Hi, my name is Rick Rieger, and I'm with the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association. Today I'll be showing you 3 videos on the importance of wearing the proper personal protective equipment on a construction site. The videos will include demonstrations on hand protection, head protection, and eye protection. At the beginning of every video, our advisor will talk about the importance of the PPE, and we'll touch on things like use, care, maintenance, and limitations of that PPE. And at the end of every video, they'll show you a demonstration of that PPE in action. So here we go.
What we're going to talk about today is hand safety. I'm going to do this through explaining how the hand protection glove system ratings work, as well as show you a demonstration using an alpha blade on a contractor leather glove and a cut resistant glove. So when it comes to determining your gloves, there's a lot of different things that you need to look at. The first thing is, what are the hazards? What are you doing? This is going to determine the level of protection that you need for your hands. Now, the rating systems over the last while have gotten a bit confusing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain the rating systems and how they've combined the old rating systems with the new rating systems. Now, the best way to remember this is the acronym ACT-P. So with the old system, A being abrasion, this goes up to a level 4. What they do is they use basically a piece of sandpaper and they determine with the amount of cycles that it takes to get through the glove at a predetermined pressure that determines the level of protection against abrasion. The next is cut. Now, this is the old system which uses the same blade to cut through the gloves, the batch of gloves. So this was giving some inconsistent tests, which the new system, which we'll explain after, is much more efficient in determining. With the old system, they would cut through the glove with the same blade, and the amount of pressure was determined the level of cut resistance, so being that 1 to 5. All of the numbers go up to 4 except for cut. Cut goes up to a 5th level. The third is the tear. With the tear, they attach the piece of material onto a tachometer and they tear it apart simply. The more tensile strength that it takes to tear apart that glove, the higher the rating. Then there's the puncture test, which is basically uses almost something similar to a nail. They take this pointed object and they force it through the material. The more pressure it takes, the higher the number. So if you have a glove that is rated for your abrasion as a 4, your cut as a 5, your tear as a 4, and puncture as a 4, that's the highest rating of glove you could get under the old system. Now, this is where the EN388 system starts to kick in, which is with the last 2 digits on the glove. Now, those are actually not digits, they're letters. So the first being the new cut system. The new cut system uses 1 blade and pressure to determine the amount of pressure it takes to cut through the glove. And this gives it a ranking of A through F, A being the lowest amount of pressure, F being the highest amount of pressure. The last is the impact test. Now, this impact test is based on a pass or fail. So you're going to have basically a P or an F or an X if the test was not conducted whatsoever. The next piece of it is the level of grams used to cut through the glove. Now, this is determined by the system A1 through A9. A1 being the lowest amount, which is less than 200 grams of pressure to cut through the glove. This would be very light duty gloves. So this is for handling small parts maybe that have some sharp edges to them. And then there's the A9, which is over 6,000 grams of pressure. You're going to find these in recycling plants or possibly meat cutting. Generally in the construction field, we're going anywhere from maybe an A3 or A4 to an A5 or A6. It just really depends on the type of hazards that you're seeing. So what we're going to show you today during the demo is a contractor glove being cut with an Alpha knife, and we're going to show you the same test with a cut level 5 glove. So the cut level 5 glove, it's going to offer a little bit more dexterity than the contractor glove, whereas the contractor glove, they're bigger, bulkier. However, they are good for some tasks. They're not great for all tasks. So this concludes our hand protection demonstration. If you have any further questions, please contact the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association so an advisor can get in contact with you. Today we're going to talk about hard hats, use, care, and limitations, as well as we're going to show you the hard hat demonstration. So we're going to drop a couple of common job site tools that you would find onto the hard hat from a distance of 6 feet. And then we're going to drop them onto a styrofoam head that is not wearing a hard hat. So when it comes to your hard hat, there are two types of hard hat. Type 1 is the general hard hat you're going to see on most construction sites. These protect against impact to the top of the head. Then there's the Type 2, which have a material that wraps around the inside of the hard hat to protect against side impact. There are also 3 separate classes of hard hat. There's your G, which offers protection up to 2,200 volts. Then there's your Class E, which offers protection up to 20,000 volts. Then there's your Class C, which offers no protection up against electrical hazards. When it comes to the way your hard hat is built, you'll notice that there are ridges on your hard hat. Those are to spread out the weight and to help with deflection of materials that fall onto your head. When it comes to your suspension system, that's set up in either a 4 or an 8-point harness protection. The difference between ANSI and CSA grade hard hats is the ANSI hard hats have a design that is to protect the head and neck, whereas the CSA grade hard hats are designed to protect impact to the head only. You will notice, however, some hard hats meet both specifications. When it comes to working in summer versus winter, there are different types of liners that you can use with a hard hat. It's very important to note that you do not want anything that is not mandated from a manufacturer in your hard hat at any point in time. What this does is if something hits the top of your head in an incident, the suspension system is not going to work effectively. When it comes to replacing your hard hat, you want to make sure that after any impact that does any visible damage to your hard hat, you want to make sure that your hard hat is replaced. Most manufacturers say that 5 years is the time in which you want to replace the outer shell. You have to follow up with the manufacturer within the instructions to ensure that it's 5 years. When it comes to the suspension system, most manufacturers state that after 1 year, you need to replace this system. It is best practice, regardless of what the manufacturer states, is to replace it every single year. This is due to a few different reasons. The first reason is the ratchet system. After tightening and untightening it every day, it starts to weaken the ratchet system's ability to hold the hard hat onto your head. The second reason is that the material itself starts to degrade with not only repetitive use, but also the sweat starts to break down the material. So you want to make sure that you leave no room for error and just replace it every year. When it comes to purchasing your hard hat, most hard hats are sold in a medium size. A medium size generally fits most people. However, you can special order large and small hard hats to make sure that it fits your head properly. So when it comes to hard hats, one thing you want to make sure is that you're inspecting your hard hat every single day. You want to make sure you're not only inspecting the inside and outside of the shell, but you're also inspecting your suspension system. When you're checking out the outside of your hard hat, as well as the inside of your hard hat, you want to look for any cracks, dents, deformations of your hard hat. You also want to make sure that you're checking the inside for the same. A lot of times people put stickers on the outside of their hard hat. Generally, this is fine, but make sure you're following the recommendations of the manufacturer. However, you do want to make sure that you're not putting stickers on both sides of the hard hat. If there is a crack in the hard hat, you need to make sure that you can inspect the hard hat clearly. When it comes to inspecting the suspension system, you want to make sure that all contact points from the suspension system to the hard hat are seated in properly and there are no cracks, dents, or twists. You also want to make sure that the material that the suspension system is made from is free of any tears or knots. And you also want to make sure that the ratchet works fluidly and properly. When it comes to taking care of your hard hat, not only do you want to make sure that it's inspected every day, but you want to make sure that it's washed on a regular basis. Make sure that you're not using any abrasive chemicals. Just using a soap and water solution will work just fine. You want to make sure that you're also cleaning the ratchet system, making sure that it's free from any debris or any grit that could cause damage to the ratchet system. You also want to make sure that the suspension system is clean to keep from any bacteria growing and spreading. So now we're going to move on to the demonstration. What I'm going to do for you here today is I'm going to drop different objects onto the hard hat from about the height of 6 feet. These are all objects that you'd normally find on a job site. The height of this tube is to replicate if you were walking below a section of scaffold and one of these tools was dropped on you from that height. We're going to show you what it looks like with and without the hard hat. So this concludes the hard hat demonstration. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the SCSA and an advisor will reach out to you to answer them shortly. So what we're going to talk about today is eye protection. We're going to talk about the use, care, and limitations of your eyeglasses and how to choose the proper eye protection. We're also going to show you a demonstration that shows the difference between safety glasses with a safety rating on them and glasses that do not have a safety rating. So how to choose your glasses. It's important to know the hazards at hand so that you can choose the appropriate eyewear for the job. Now, regular safety glasses are great for most general purposes, but you may need something a little extra. Some glasses, referred to as smoggles, will have a strap on them and don't actually go over top of the ear. These are great for dust or chemicals. The other ones may have a foam insert that goes around, which also can protect you against dust and very small particle debris that can get underneath the glasses. There are other types of eye protection that you can use, like a face protector. This is, in best practice, used in conjunction with safety glasses, as small debris sometimes can still get under the face shield. Face shields are best used for grinding operations. So how do you know a pair of safety glasses is actually rated for safety? Well, there's two ways. Number one is a certifying mark of approval. You're going to be looking for the stamp from ANSI or CSA. The second is accompanying those logos is the Z87 or Z94.3 safety rating. The Z87 is the ANSI rating, and the Z94.3 is the CSA rating. How they get those ratings is very important. There's two tests that they do that make these ratings what they are. The first is an impact test. So what they do is they take a 1/4-inch ball bearing and they shoot it at the glasses at around 100 miles per hour. This is to make sure that the glasses don't shatter. The second is by dropping a small pointed projectile on the glasses to ensure that the concave of the glasses protects against blunt force trauma. This uses a weight approximately 17 ounces that drops from about 52 inches onto the glasses. Imagine if you were turning a corner and a piece of rebar that was poking out of a wall was to hit you right in the eye. What this does is protects the eye by spreading out the weight over top of the orbital bone in order to make sure that the glasses don't actually touch the eye. This is very important because projectiles that are moving at a very high rate of speed have the ability to push the glasses in if they didn't have this type of rating. Now, when you're looking after your glasses, it's absolutely imperative that you don't do what we see a lot of people do, which is take your glasses off, grab your shirt, and rub the glasses clean. The reason you don't want to just use your shirt to clean any debris off your glasses is that's going to act like sandpaper, and that's just going to ruin your glasses. Some glasses do have a coating, like an anti-fog coating. This is going to scratch some of that coating off. So what you want to do is the most effective is using a type of lens cleaner to clean your glasses. If this isn't possible, just using some warm water to clean your glasses is going to work well. Secondly, you want to make sure that your glasses are kept in a dry, cool place. Leaving them on the dashboard of your vehicle or hanging on the rear view mirror of your vehicle. What this does is causes undue stress to the glasses by heating them up to temperatures that they shouldn't be heated up to. This can cause deformation as well as degrade the material that the glasses are made from. So what we're going to show you today is the difference between a pair of safety rated glasses and a pair of sunglasses that just offer UV protection. The thing to note about sunglasses is a lot of them will offer ballistic protection, and people think that this is a safety rating, which it's not. If they do not carry the certifying mark of approval, being ANSI or CSA, accompanied with the number Z87 or Z94.3, they cannot be considered safety glasses. The legislation is very clear on the protection required when it comes to eye protection. So that concludes our eye protection demonstration. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association, and an advisor will be sure to assist you.
So there you go. There are our demos. Hope you enjoyed them. I hope you learned something from them as well. Thank you.